And after another long week of work, I am back 4.5 hours south and getting ready to get back to work on the car. I will say that it's a bit of a struggle to get all this fit into one day. Sundays are pretty much taken up by um, obligations and then traveling back, but Saturdays are free, so I try to take these, max these out as much as possible. And yeah, so today's objectives are to hopefully just get the rear diff out and also drain the water out of the Subaru. I don't really feel like I need to film any of that and bore you guys with the boringness that is. But also another update. Hopefully I'll be, as you can see, I'm still in the same garage as before. But if you watch my other video, even further update, I am finally under contract with a house. So hopefully I'll have a more dedicated garage for all this car stuff and put that personal gym that is hiding back there, just covered up, that I don't really use right now. But get that into its own space so I have an entire 2-car garage dedicated to the car. And also, update on the truck. I finally found a shop in order to get a transmission done, much cheaper than what I've been seeing over the last couple months, and conveniently it'll be it's about an hour away from where I'll be moving, so that is fantastic. And yeah, I also got a part for that, so that'll be next weekend's task. But that's the you can't see it obviously because it's in its wrapping, but I have to replace the thermostats because the coolant reservoir cap, or the degas bottle cap trick, did not work. That, or temperatures were still too cold, and I was also just putting the truck around in the on the back roads, wasn't really reaching any speed, so it wasn't getting to temp. Didn't get a check engine light, but that is what it is. But let me get to working on this, and I'll update you all as I go along. Hopefully it's not too boring or meticulous, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, back to this episode of craziness. So it's been a couple hours and I'm a little bit tired. I took a break, and I think to prove a point that I was tired, I just tried to drink from a water bottle that still had its cap on it. Anyway, what you're looking at obviously is the result of one thing that I tried to do, and I thought this was going to take a couple hours. Yeah, boy was I wrong. So I ended up quitting just because I got exhausted. No pun intended right here, but also had to remove that so that I could access some of the bolts that are holding the diff in. So anyway, to cut to my idiocy, and so originally I had taken the hub assembly off of the coil there, and well, let's just say I didn't see how it was going to work. So me having not done any sort of mechanical work in a while, I decided to do some YouTube research and found my answer. And lo and behold, although I didn't have to take the coilover off of the hub assembly, what I did have to do was take out the lateral link and all that stuff. So, or yeah, the bolt holding the lateral links to the hub and all that stuff. And so eventually got that done, and then I had the fun of playing underneath the car. It was shaking a little bit. I had actually raised the jack stands to, I would say, a pretty dangerous level. It was starting to shake when I was going hard on some bolts, so I lowered the car a little bit, you know, making that a little bit more uncomfortable, but safer. So I'd rather have safety over comfort. But I got all this carnage going on. I kind of swiped everything to the side, but there you go. And I will have to say that doing this has reminded me of how arduous doing this 6-speed swap is. And obviously this is something that I regret not doing in the past, but I did do the 6-speed swap myself. The only time I actually had a friend come over was when I was actually mating the transmission to the engine itself, which it was still done, on jack stands and in my garage. And I will say lifting a 300-pound transmission is not exactly the easiest thing when the car is on jack stands and it's just you and your buddy and a jack holding the transmission up. So that was interesting. Had a few close calls, I would say. I got pinched a couple of times and all this stuff. I forgot how heavy the dang differential is, but luckily I got it out. So now, obviously, I got to take that cover off and get that gasket replaced. And I think the gasket is over here, if I'm not mistaken. This is something that I've held off on for far too long. So it's about time I got it done. Yep, there it is. And yeah, take the cover off, put this on, and then start reassembling. And unfortunately, because of the long break, currently it is 10 p.m. And tomorrow is busy in the morning, and then I head out early afternoon to get back up to Virginia. So that's fun. But I think this will be finished next week on Saturday, because now I know how to put it all back together. And I could probably recruit a couple of friends too, just to help out with some of the heavy lifting. But there it is. She is in utter distress, torn apart, blah, blah, blah. And I still have the, I bought 4 gallons right there of some distilled water, and the water wetter is over there. Obviously you can't see it, but I do have water wetter for the cooling system flush, getting rid of the coolant and going full race car, if you want to call it that. I mean, you can run your car on, any car on water. It's just the coolant helps during the winter, obviously. So anyway, there we go, going full race car, getting rid of the Band-Aid, doing the actual repair that needs to be done. And yeah, I will get back with you guys as soon as the reassembly has begun. Okay, just kidding. So I guess I should take advantage of all these opportunities I get now, since this is the first time I've taken the cover off the differential. Figured I'd share. So pretty cool. Obviously nothing spectacular to look at. Still got to pour out what's left of the old stuff. And not sure if you guys are aware, because I didn't show, but when it was leaking, all I simply did was put, oh wow, you could see that there's not even a gasket there anymore. I mean, I can tell there's that part, but everything else about it seems pretty much gone. So that's why it was leaking from the bottom. So I used some gasket maker, and you guys are probably gonna hate me for this, call me dumb, whatever, but I did take it on track with it band-aided together. I think I mentioned it too in some previous videos, but it held just fine. That's the diff fluid minus the debris that's in the pan from, you know, being outside and doing oil changes. The fluid came out the exact same color as it had gone in. So no damage done. Looks pretty cool. I mean, it is what it is. I've seen diffs on YouTube, you know, taken out and whatnot, but seeing stuff in person is always a little bit different. Sorry if I screwed up the screen a little bit, but trying to move my camera and the flashlight. Not sure if you guys can actually see what I'm looking at, but oh, pretty cool. Spinning it, and this is a version 7, so it looks pretty dang good to me. This is my first time looking at it. I can't say that I've grinded any gears. It is a 6-speed, and I have the short throw and then solid bushings and all that stuff, so pretty precise shifts and whatnot. But yeah, I think it looks pretty cool seeing it in person, having this first experience, and I'm happy to share it with y'all. So now I'm gonna take off what's left of that gasket, probably scrape down what there isn't, and then get this thing back together and go on to the reassembly. All right, I feel like a child, but at the same time, whatever. So here's the used one. I don't know if you can tell, but obviously that's a dead giveaway. But it's kind of funny how flat this is. And then there's that little groove here, obviously, that gets pinched down that you can see on the new gasket. So there it is there. You might be able to see it on this one. Nope, not at all, really. And it is perfectly flat. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. All right, now to get this thing back together for real. All right, everyone, well, welcome back. But I'm gonna break this just to make a little bit of a more streamlined video. I'm gonna break this into 2 parts, so it's a little bit late on this, but fast forward to the next weekend, and here I am. But yeah, I'm gonna put the car back together, and I'm gonna try something new. So you're seeing everything apart. Hopefully next time you guys see it, it'll be back together with a time lapse.